When you see the Galaxy Buds live, it's very easy to get distracted by its shininess, and you might be convinced that you bought active noise cancelling earbuds.
But let's be clear about one thing. These are not the earbuds to buy if you want active noise cancelling. So why would you buy these earbuds?
Stay tuned for a real conversation. Goedendag, we're DHRME.
Diabolical,
Hogwashing,
rabbling,
malefactoring,
enervates. Yeah.
Since we started off this video by trashing the active noise cancelling,
Let's continue trashing the active noise cancelling.
so on paper, these buds do come with active noise cancelling, But in practice, you won't actually notice any of that noise cancelling that's happening on these buds. This also has to do with how these buds actually fit in your ear, but more on that later. The ANC is potentially noticeable if you were to push or fasten the earbuds into your ears. Otherwise, it's like trying to tell the difference between Pepsi and Coca-Cola.
I think you're hitting a sensitive subject there.
Okay, moving on. So if these buds can't keep noise out, are they any good with emitting noise into your ears?
Again, if you're looking at these earbuds as anything other than a casual listener, look somewhere else. Because of the design of these earbuds, they sound all right if you have the perfect fit and the speakers are, right near your ear, especially if you want any kind of bass. Outside noise is always going to affect your audio experience, especially in anything other than pin drop silence. In terms of codecs, they have this Samsung scalable codec, which works with Samsung phones. And they have AAC on other phones, and there's no aptX. That really doesn't matter. It's all about the fit. The codecs are not going to help you get the perfect sound in your ears. Samsung does try to compensate for this by giving you some EQ options in the app, but they're really, really basic. So you can choose between one of 6 preset EQs. And again, it depends on the fit in your ears.
So no active noise cancelling
No.
and no good audio. Why even bother continuing with this review?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because we started with the whole design thing. Do you remember? That was the first line of this video.
The shiny bit?
The shiny bit,
All right.
yes. So these shiny earbuds, there's a lot of credit that Apple gets for being innovative as a company. There's a trope that they're the most innovative company. But if you look at Samsung and the hardware they've been putting out in recent times, or even the last decade, with the different phones and now these buds, I think they are just about as innovative as anyone else.
Yeah, we said innovative, not experimental. Sorry, LG.
Yeah. And again, talking about the design and the build, these are very small, very pocketable, very portable. They're also very nondescript in your ear. They don't really appear to be very flashy, but they are attractive at the same time. I'm very attracted to them. And these earbuds come in a variety of mystic colors. Unlike Apple's.
So they are also IPX2 resistant. So if water were to drop at a 15-degree angle, these buds would be perfect for you. Not sure what that means. A little rain drops here and there would be fine, but otherwise, I wouldn't excessively sweat in them or have them in proper rain.
And they have Bluetooth 5.0. And they also come with wireless fast charging and USB Type-C charging.
So let's talk about the comfiness and the secureness of fit of these buds. So they're very light. And because they're light, they're very comfortable to wear for long periods of time. Actually, I almost felt like there was nothing in my ears while wearing them. But how is the secureness of fit? So let's move on to the vigorous shake test by Rohan.
So as you saw, the left one fell out before the right one. I had trouble actually getting the right one out. This is a unique design, so the fit is also going to be very unique. It's not like a normal in-ear buds, but the bottom line for us is we would not advise you to use these for, vigorous shaking or movement or exercise. They're nice professional buds to be used in office or on phone calls and things like that. So although these are comfortable for long-term use, they do trade off on audio and ANC because they don't create a seal in your ear, which means there's always going to be some sort of gap between the speaker and your ear, and how your ear perceives that sound is going to be affected by that gap. And that gap may be different for different people. It will sound different to different people. The bottom line is you will never get consistent sound quality or ANC out of these.
So these buds are solid looking.
Just like Rajma.
Yeah, so they come with this unibody design, which makes it look unbreakable kind of, because it doesn't come with any of these stems, so you're not afraid of breaking parts of it, which is quite nice. But because of the shiny design, you may think that it might be a fingerprint magnet, but from our experience using the Mystic Black color, it hasn't been the case. So.
Yeah. And it has this like hearing aid aesthetic. I think that's cool that Samsung's trying to make hearing aids cool again.
The buds find themselves in a tiny plastic case, but again, don't be fooled by its size, because the buds as well as the case pack quite a punch when it comes to battery life. From our testing, the buds lasted 5 hours on battery life, and Samsung says that the case will provide another 4 extra charges. And in our testing, we had ANC on and the Bixby wake up off.
What's Bixby? What's Bixby? Why did you Bixby?
What? It's Samsung, man. It's Samsung. Okay. You forgot? Yeah. And speaking of the case, it comes with a LED juice indicator, indicating how much battery you have left in it depending on the color of the LED. Not very colorblind friendly, but it has it anyway. So how do you operate these buds? Well, they come with a touch gesture instead of buttons. And the touch gestures do come with some customizability. Like you can customize the long press for either an ANC toggle, your voice command, volume up or down, or to even call up Spotify.
Yeah, that's nice that they have volume up and down, but I would still recommend that you disable all the touches because of how they fit in your ear. Talking about the fit again, is you have to keep moving them sometimes, or if you think they're falling off, you need to push them back in, and then the touch gets accidentally activated. And I found it quite annoying, so I just ended up disabling it completely. But these are equal opportunity buds, which means there's no discrimination on which one you shove into your ear. They don't use a master-slave architecture. You can use each of these buds independently.
So talking about how these buds fare on phone calls, well, we did our standard test, which is in 3 different environments: in a quiet condition, in a noisy cafe simulated environment, and a windy condition using a good old fan. Have a listen for yourself and be your own judge. Don't worry, you don't need a law degree. But if you're curious to our judgment, then skip forward to that YouTube chapter further down the video.
Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3. Pop, pop, popsicle, ice, ice, icicle, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3.
When good Fuckman earbuds either look like toothbrush heads or a retro businessman look, you can understand that we're quite skeptical when we looked at these buds live. But man, were we wrong. You can actually look good while still being on phone calls. Too bad we're all stuck at home and there's no one to see us. In quiet conditions, the voice clarity and the volume was on point, very comparable to the AirPods Pro. And in noisy environments, it held its own to the likes of the AirPods Pro and the Bose QC earbuds by suppressing the background noise and allowing the speaker's voice to be heard clearly. There is background noise, but it doesn't take away from the consistency of the speaker's voice, which is important to note as well. And then finally, in windy conditions, it did well too, allowing you to hear the speaker's voice relatively clearly most of the time, although depending on the angle of the wind, the voice could sound a bit muffled, but overall, it was sufficient.
So great unexpected microphone quality for the Fuckman, but these buds don't come with any special or extended functions. You have the basics of answering, hanging up calls, rejecting calls, but you can't really mute a call using the buds themselves or put calls on hold. So what extras can we talk about these buds? Well, there's a few things. You have an app, the Buds Wearable or the Wear app or whatever, screenshot. So this app lets you do a few things. The first thing we talked about was EQ, but you can also turn on and off noise cancellation. You can also customize what the touch controls do, as we spoke about. You can make it read your notifications from your phone. You can reset it and all the things we mentioned so far. But the most important thing in terms of extras for me is like smart pause. So when I take it off, the music should stop playing. This works on these buds if you take only both the buds out and not just one. So I think what's happening is they're kind of temporarily going into this standby state, because when you put them back on, it doesn't resume playing the music. So the smart pause is a bit hit and miss. And they don't have multi-device unless you sign into your Samsung account on multiple devices, and then they're supposed to work. I'm not going to do that, so I didn't test that. But if you have a Samsung account and you want to do that, more power to you. And unlike Bose, they don't have a clear reading out of which device you're connected to, but you don't know the device's name. And on our new section, Fixability and repair. Look, Samsung is a popular brand, so I'm sure there will be possibilities to repair these buds, but we didn't find anything about the recycling, materials of these. We found one article which said it was recyclable. We couldn't verify it, so I wouldn't say that. And we reached out to Samsung, and I guess Samsung doesn't want to reply to us, so we didn't get a response from them about how these buds are when it comes to environment and repairability.
All right, this brings us to the section to buy or not to buy.
Yeah, I want to quickly first compare these to the Apple AirPods first and second generation, because I think a lot of you might be looking at that. So compared to the one, this has wireless charging, which the AirPods 2 had, but the design is nicer in my view, a bit more subtle. The battery life is also better on the Galaxy Buds Live. However, if you're into the whole Apple ecosystem, I think the AirPods might be more interesting for you. And you may want to be looking at the price difference as well.
All right, guys, Black Friday and Christmas coming up. So check out those links in the description for the latest deals and to get your loved ones a shiny new gadget. And using those links will not cost you anything extra and helps out the channel a little bit.
So you should buy the Galaxy Buds Live
if you want to make a fashion statement and have all your virtual coworkers and friends ask you what those shiny new things are in your ears. If you want earbuds that are so comfortable, you will even forget that they're in your ears. If you use earbuds mainly for calling and casually listening to music at home. If you want really portable earbuds that fit in the palm of your hand. If you want a pair of earbuds that pack a punch when it comes to battery life and support USB Type-C and wireless charging. If you're in the Samsung walled garden. And if you like living on the edge and usually pick a bud at random to use on its own. You should not buy the Galaxy Buds Live if
you need real active noise cancelling, if you're particular about your sound quality, because these earbuds don't come with a seal, so you will be turning up the volume quite a bit and you will not be getting that level of bass as you would from in-ear earbuds. If you plan to use these simultaneously with two devices without making a Samsung account. And last but not least, very important, if you're a Bixby hater or if you don't accidentally want to eat your earbuds.
Okay, you've been looking at shiny beans?
And we've been DHRME.
Namaste.